Hey everyone, it's me, T-Lab. I've decided to do a top 10 list on my YouTube channel. And the first one is going to be the top 10 most brutal forms of
torture.
Bloody lights. Wait. That's better. Anyway, top 10
most brutal forms of torture. This torture video is by no means in any order. First we have the torture method known as the tub. Known as the punishment of sitting in the tub, the convicted person will be placed in a wooden tub with only their head sticking out. After that, the executioner will paint their faces with milk and honey, and soon flies will begin to feed on them. The victim was also fed regularly and would end up swimming in their own excrement. After a few days, maggots and worms would devour their body as they decayed alive. Next we have impalement. Given his name, it should come as no surprise that this was the most favoured method of execution by Vlad the Impaler. In the 15th century Romania, the victim was forced to sit on a sharp and thick pole. When the pole was then raised upright, the victim was left to slide down the pole with their own body weight. It could take the victim up to 3 days to die using this method, and it has been said that Vlad once did this to 20,000 people, all while enjoying a meal. Next on my list we have the heretic's fork. This torture device consisted of a metal piece with two opposed bi-pronged forks attached to a belt or strap. One end of the device was pushed under the chin, the under the sternum, and the strap was used to secure the victim's neck to the tool while the victim hung from the ceiling or was somehow suspended so that they could not sleep. If their heads dropped, the prongs would pierce their throat and chest. For number 4 on my list, we have neck torture. Humiliating and painful. This punishment was something of an endurance test, where the victim would be hooked into a neck device, either made of metal or wood, which prevented the victim from adjusting into a comfortable position. The cruelty of this punishment lay within the fact that they were unable to lie down, eat, or lower their head for days. Number 5. The brazen bull, also known as the silicon bull. It was designed in ancient Greece. A solid piece of brass was cast with a door on the side that could be opened and latched. The victim would be placed inside the bull and a fire set underneath it until the metal became literally yellow as it was heated. The victim would then be slowly roasted to death, all while screaming in agonizing pain. The bull was purposely designed to amplify these screams and make them sound like the bellowing of a bull. Number 6. The Judas Cradle. Closely related to impalement, this gruesome punishment entailed having the victim sit on the pyramid-shaped cradle, after which they would be forced down on it by ropes with the intent of stretching the victim's orifice over a long period of time, slowly impaling them. To add to the overall humiliation, the victim was usually naked and the face was rarely washed. So if the torture did not kill you, the infection contracted from it would. Number 7. The lead sprinkler, usually filled with molten lead, tar, boiling water, or boiling oil. It was used to torture victims by dripping the contents onto their stomach or other body parts like the eyes. Using this device, the torturer would proceed to pour molten silver on the victim's eyes, which resulted in agonizing pain and eventually death. Number 8. The Iron Maiden. This torture device consisted of an iron cabinet with a hinged front and spike-covered interior, sufficient enough to enclose a human being. Once inside, its conical frame, the victim would be unable to move due to the great number of steel spikes impaling them from every direction. The interrogator would scream questions at the victim while poking them with jagged edges. Number 9. Coffin torture. The most preferred torture technique in the Middle Ages was known as coffin torture. This method involved placing the victim inside a metal cage roughly the size of a human body, hence the name. The torturers also forced overweight victims into smaller cages to heighten their discomfort as they hung from a tree or gallows. Generally, they would be left there until the crows came to feed on their remains. And finally, my personal favorite, saw torture. In this method, the victim is hung upside down so that the blood will rush to their heads and keep them conscious during the long torture. The torturer would then saw through the victims' bodies until they were completely sawed in half. Most were cut up only to their abdomen to prolong their agony. Thank you for joining me. Please like and share this video. Also, I would appreciate it if you would leave your feedback in the comment section below to let me know if I should continue doing these videos.